We are continuing in the project Likkutei Sichos. We're going to learn today Likkutei Sichos Chelek Parshas Tisa, Sicha based, beautiful Rashi Sicha, and there is Jenishu Torah, and there's also Leshitoso of Rashi in Aloche, and then what we could learn from it in our daily life, how to do avoid, how to daven, how to learn, and everything. And the Rebbe comes always with a bruro what to do. Ois Aleph. Gerät vielmal wegen Goydel Diuk in Pirush Rashi la Torah. The Rebbe says, I spoke already a lot of times, that Rashi is very precise in every word that he is saying. Bechlal zeh, as al derech horov, in most places, Hazard Rashi nishtiv as in Pirush Peimot. If Rashi says something in an explanation, then it comes to the Torah a second time, he doesn't say it again, because everybody who learned that knows already about it. Al derech Rashi is not going to get the Mishkan in Parshas Vayakel, and in Mirchem, this coming Parshas, we're going to learn Vayakel. We have in Trumon, that the Rebbe Moshe what to take. By Yakel, Moshe told the Eden. In Pkudei, the Eden did it. So we can repeat 3 times. So what Rashi say in the brackets, al der Rashi zog, Papi Rashi, nid was a Mishkan umelachte b'mochem tzavosam. When Moshe Rabbeinu told, when the Rebbe told the Moshe Rabbeinu what to take, and this is there, Rashi said, long Rashi and everything, comes by Yakel, there's almost no Rashi, because Rashi said it already. But there's exceptions. Seiden, what's the exception? As the zweiten Mal kommt zu hat, ist if there's something that could be added on in the second time, so Rashi repeats here again. Oder when zwischen, there's another exception, when zwischen the 2 Psukim is da a Hefstek von Kama Parshas. When there is a separation between more than 2, 3, 4 Parshas, between 1 and 2, the child could be forgot already, so Rashi reminds him again. And Valachas Kama, how much more so in another Chumash, when he says something in Bereshit and then he shmois again, so he would repeat it. This is the exception. Was dann Chazar Teriba, den Pirush, Bekitzor al Kolponim, not the same length, but Bekitzor. Or when sie kommt in Sukim Bio, sometimes when there is the same exactly thing, when there's no exactness, but if it's in 2 Chumoshim, from Bereshit till Bamidbo, he has to repeat it again, the same thing. Or when sie kommt in Sukim Bio, weil es kann sein, als der Talmud Aloi mit dem denkt, ist ein Pirush, und erstmal could be that he doesn't remember. So Rashi is repeating it again. Now comes the question. Allah has come in a Parsha Gufe, when we talk about in the same Parsha. It's nicht mistaber, as man soll vergessen, was Rashi hat mefarish mit etliche Psukim früher. There's a difference in a few Psukim, and Rashi said something, and then comes Rashi later, and said the same thing. But maybe it's poshet as Rashi, darf nicht überchazer den Pirush, on a Tosefes Chidush Bio. If there's a Tosefes Chidush Bio in the second line between the first time, fine. But there's no any addition. According to this, we're coming to the beautiful question that the Rebbe is asking on Rashi, not understood what Rashi is doing here. I'm telling you, the Rebbe is going to ask the question on Rashi, then the Rebbe is going to ask the question, it's a little, like let's say 2 questions on Rashi, then there's going to be 4 the Yukim, the changes in Rashi from here to there, and then the answer is unbelievable. Alpise darf man verstehen, wir verstehen, wo gefindt man das Rashi, wo man gefindt das Rashi, Hazar Tima, demselben Pirush, 2 Mal. Auf dem Postik, ושולחתי לפניך מלאך וגירשתי את הכנעני והאמורי והחיתי והפריזי והחיבי והיבוסי, in our Parsha, Perik Lamed Gimel Postik base, it says, it's Rashi Maitik from Postik. It's also important to remember what Rashi brings down from the Chumash. וגירשתי את הכנעני, and it's mefarish. Shisha umoisei, there is 6. It says only 6. Like, what happened to the 7th? Every child knows that there is 7 umois. Agirgoshi, Omar, the Girgoshi left. He left by himself. He didn't wait to fight, he left. Und euch beim weiterdicken Postuk, look at this. From Lamed Gimel Beis to Lamed Aleph Yud 1 perik ahead, a few psukim later. In the Gorish Mponechos Amoiri Baknani is Rashi Maitik is Amoiri, a different words from the Postuk. It doesn't bring Vegirashti, and it's Mefarish, it doesn't bring that in the Gorish, it brings that as Amoiri, and it's Mefarish. Wo wumo ist Yeshkan? Again, wo wumo ist Yeshkan? Kagirgoshi Oma Dupono Mipneim. It's nicht verstandig, a beautiful question. Was darf Rashi überchazer an demselben Pirush at 2. Mal? Especially when there's one next to the other. There's Lamed Gimel Beis and there's Lamed Aleph Yud Aleph. Why does he do it? Okay, we're going to go to Ois Gimel. In Ois Beis, the Rebbe is going to bring one of the Meforshim, the masculine David, that he wants to answer, because the second time it says differently. The second time it says that the Rebbe is going to be going with Eden. It doesn't say a Malach. So that's why Rashi has to say again that even the Rebbe came, the Girgoshi left by himself. So the Rebbe says it doesn't make any sense. The Rebbe gives 2 reasons. We'll just bring the second reason. The Rebbe says that the Meile, he wants to bring out the Meile, that the Rebbe is going with them. If the Rebbe is going with them, how come that only the Girgoshi left and not all of them left? All of them should have left. Anyway, the Rebbe doesn't accept it, and the Rebbe says, so the question stays, how come that Rashi gives the same Pirush 2 times one after the other? And the Rebbe says, the Kushi wird noch stärker, and the Kashi becomes even stronger, but I think it's a second question on this Rashi. Oy, lefi das Rashi darf man bewohren mit Pschutte shel Mikro. Favos der Posik rechnet no wo mois. Weißt du hast deinen Dosain no mois, if Rashi needs to tell us, let's go to the first Posik. Rashi has to tell us that the Posik says only 6, there is 7. So Rashi has to explain it. Beautiful question. Or does Rashi gedacht mefarisch sein, wenn der Posik rechnet tois, no wo mois, zum ersten Mal. The point is, this is not the first time that there is. You know how many times there is? 3 times before. And Rashi says nothing. Comes in this parsha, not only says the Pirush, but it says that twice. It doesn't make any sense. What's going on here? Okay, where do we see it? The Alkoponim Mefaris time clear. The Rebbe says, okay, you don't do it by the first time. Do it by the second. Why by the fourth? Why don't you explain it there? And the Chidush, the Rebbe is going to make a Chidush between there and here. Unbelievable. Man gefindt das Kammerpomim früher in Chumisch. It's Kammerpomim in Chumisch. 2 Mal in Parshas Shmois. In Parshas Shmois it says, wenn der Rebbe stellt Moshe Rabbeinu, וארד להצילוי, ולעלוי שו אל ארץ טוב ורחובו, אל מוקם הכנעני, only 6. Then again in Shmois it says, ואוימר, the Rebbe says ואוימר, על 10 מעוני מצרים, אל ארץ הכנעני, again 6, ארץ זו אסכולה ודבש. What's going on here? It says clear 6 2 times. Und einmal in Parshas Mishpatim. In Parshas Mishpatim it says, Ki yelech malochi leponecho, ve'viacho, Elohim moiri v'chulu, only 6. So we have 3 times that it doesn't say nothing. Und dort is Rashi gar nicht mefarish. See, the Rebbe says, the question is not a question regular. It's a question mark and explanation mark. There's 2 of them. It shows that the question is a very strong question. So the first question is, why is he saying 2 times one after the other? Second question is, if you have to be mefarish, because the child don't understand, there is 6 and there is, everybody knows that there is 7, do it the first time. And the Rebbe brings the places 2 times in Shmois, 1 time in Mishpatim. Okay. So very geschmack, understood, no questions, understood what the Rebbe wants. In Parshas Mishpatim, now the Rebbe is going to take off Mishpatim, he's going to give a reason why Mishpatim, Rashi didn't say because it's not necessary. But the question is going to stay, what happened with the 2 places in Shmois? In Parshas Mishpatim, kämen noch Veränderungen, was Rashi dort nicht mehr fahrisch, weil gleich bei Chelek der Indien steht dort, Rashi doesn't explain there because there is a reason. What happens there? It says, Ine oneich Chelek malach leponecho, und Rashi is mefarish, kan nisbastru shtafidin lachtoi v'shchino imeres lehem ki lo ele b'kirbecho. Yeah? In Parshas Mishpatim it says, Ine oneich Chelek malach. How does a malach come in there? So Rashi says, the Rebbe knew that they're going to do the Egel. Because of the Egel, there's going to be a malach. Where is the story with the Egel? Not in Mishpatim. Where's the story with the Egel? In Parshas Tisa. So Rashi says, but relies when it's going to come to Parshas Tisa, and it's going to say there that he did Avera, and it's going to say clearly that the Rebbe is going to stand a malach. There I'm going to explain it. But here I don't have to explain it. Very geschmack, the answer. So Mishpatim is not a question. But the Amire, what it says in Parshas Mishpatim, it does by Parshas Teinu. Where does it happen? In Parshas Tisa. Wo der Rebbe rotim gizok lache chet Egel, that's clear in Parshas Tisa. Today's Parsha. ושולח טלפונך מהלך כי לא יעלה בקרבך. ובעלת את משדוקת את מבט lernen weiter בפרשת שתיים. Rashi himself says, we're going to learn the main thing, we're going to learn it later. verlos die Rashi euch in der Brat, was der Apostel rechnen bloß zwei, wo moist, auf dem was noch Zeit später was, so Parshas is not a question, because this is not the main place. The main place is going to be in Kishisto. I'll explain it to you in Kishisto when we get there. But das ist aber nicht verstandig, the question stays, bei die 2 Mal im Parshas Mois, wo der Apostel gerechnet ist, Sicha und Mois, Apostel says only 6, und lasst euch Girgoshi. Parvos, Rashi stellt sich dort nicht auf dem. And give a look in footnote 14, very geschmack. Was shein ken, Rashi doesn't say nothing there in Shmois, bekam Pashta Mikro, der Rabbi Ezra and the Ramban, and the Rebbe says in the parentheses, ve'echot mit tirutze Rambanu, sherabbo Yisheinu omru, a Girgoshi pono. And Rashi doesn't say it. What happened to you, Rashi? What's going on? Why didn't you do it there? So again, we have 2 questions. Number 1, why did you do it 2 times? And number 2, why didn't you do it at the beginning, the first time, the second time, the third time? Mishpatim is not a question, but the other 2 places in Shmois stays the question.
They were when Eden was still in the sky.
It's coming up. It's a very good point that you asked. There's 2 opinions. Number 1, he left before. Number 2, when Eden came, he saw the Eden coming, then he left. Very good, a good point, a good question. I mean, it's different opinions. Okay, we're going to see it in the Sicha. Now we're going to come to the 4 changes that Rashi himself is doing. you're bringing the same thing. Bring the same thing. Why do you change it? It changes itself. It's going to teach us what Rashi, why Rashi had to do it 2 times. Was ein Geschmack. Euch darf man verstehen, die Shinui Lishon ist in der Pirusche Rashi, die Parshas Tisa. Okay, number 1, Aleph. Dem ersten Mal sagt Rashi, Shisha Umois, Hein. Und in zweiten Pirush, wo Umois, there's kind of major difference. At the beginning it says, there is 6, and why do you tell me 6? There is 7. Here it says, wo Umois, yes, can. It's some kind of emphasis. Based, בפירוש בפעם א' it says, והגרגושי, בפירוש הבייס, כי הגרגושי. Difference between ve and ki is a very simple thing. והגרגושי is and the gergoshi. Ki is the reason, because the gergoshi. Why did he change it? Why is because? Gimel, the third question. בפירוש א' is a messiah. Pono mipneyem me'elov. He left from himself. Second time comes out like he left because of somebody threatened him or something. I mean, why is it me'elov? Mashenkin, the Sveit Mol is a mash with him word. Second time it doesn't say me'elov, just mipneyem. If you want to see, you could look at the beginning, first column on the bottom, it says exactly the Lashonis of Rashi, so you'll be able to see the differences. But we have it right here. Dalet, by the first Mol is Rashi mighty from Posuk, as we mentioned before. Rashi, the Rebbe brings down in one of the Aores to look in Klole Rashi. Arav Tuvia Blois was gesund, he gave out a Sefer Klole Rashi, and I think then when he gave out the book, it was Reish Zayin, Roz, and then they came up much more, in there's 250 or more. Klole Rashi, he combined, he took from all the Sichas, all the Klolim Rashi, one of the Klolim is that Rashi, whatever is brought down from Chumash, Rashi himself wrote it. It's not somebody wrote it, and just the Pirush of Rashi is. By the first Mol is Rashi mighty from Posuk Vegei Rashi Etaknani, Vegoim about the Sveit Mol is a mighty bloy. What's going on here? Why did you change? Und nicht in den Goyrisch mit Panecho. It's the same lesson. Ihr jetzt Vegei Rashi, ihr in den Goyrisch. Ihr bringt dann Vegei Rashi, ihr bringt dann das Moire. So we have the four shilas. Why is the changes in the Lashonis? And we have the main 2 questions. Why is it doing one after the other? Why is it not doing it the first 2 times in Parshas Shmois? We already in Parshas Tisa. Why didn't you do it then? I say is going to come the answer. The Chelek zwischen the Psukim she Parshas Tisa and the Psukim she Parshas Shmois. So let's not forget. We have 2 psukim in Shmois, we have 2 psukim in Kisito, right? That's what we're dealing with. But the Rebbe says the Chelek between the psukim, the 2, in our parsha, and the psukim in Parshas Shmois and Parshas Boy. What's Parshas Boy coming in here all of a sudden? What is Parshas Boy doing here? So very interesting. We didn't mention Boy till now, right? We mentioned 2 in Shmois, 1 in Mishpotim, we took it off, and 2 in Kisito. Why isn't the parenthesis Parshas Boy? Very interesting. In Parshas Boy, it says also. There's a posting that it says also 5, not 6. It says 5. And Rashi explains that all of them are included in the Knani, but it doesn't talk about why 5 and not 7. So that's what the Rebbe says here on Parshas Boy. Okay. Was euch in Zei werden ausgerechnet no wo mois is bepashtus. The Rebbe is going to give the answer. What is bepashtus? The idea between the 2 psukim there and the 2 psukim here. In Parshas Shmois, when you talk about Parshas Shmois, the Rebbe is going to give a very interesting thing. If you talk about the Umois or you talk about Eretz Yisrael, like to say, it's like Gavre and Chefse. Depends what you're talking about. In the other 2 places, in the first 2 places, he's talking about Eretz Yisrael. In Kisito, he's talking about the Umois themselves. Beautiful, just unbelievable. But the Rebbe, I use the word always. I don't know if I'm allowed to do it or not. Geoinus bepashtus. Shitus mamish the Pirush to explain what Rashi meant here. Let's see. In Parshas Shmois, the Rebbe nicht wegen des Dayen, the Rebbe underline. He's not talking about the Umois geschlagen one. What is he talking about? Norwegen their land. He's talking about the land that they have, the Eretz Yisrael. Der Rebbe das sagt zu, als wir die nach Reis nehmen von Mitzrayim und bringen sie in Eretz Tebo Chovo, Eretz Zavas Cholo V'Dash. It's not a long Sicha today, before we're taking out the 2 pieces, so I'm going to read it again. In Parshas Shmois it says, "Bo ered latztiloi." What's the main thing here? Eretz. In the second place, in Shmois, it says, Eretz Remoni Mitzrayim, Eretz Aknani, Eretz Zavas Cholo V'Dash. The emphasis in on the place, not on the Umois. Oh, the Rebbe is bringing it here again. I'm sorry, I didn't remember. The Rebbe says, listen to the emphasis. El Mekoim Aknani v'Achiti v'Moiri v'Apris v'Achivei. They're not the main point here. The main point is I'm going to bring him to Zovat Cholo V'Dvosh. ואומר, the second posik, alle Tramonim Mitzrayim, me'oinim Mitzrayim, el Eretz HaKnani. El Eretz was called. This is the emphasis here. Now, what's the difference? So why does Rashi doesn't have to explain there? Very good. B'meile. What's the bottom line? Learn by yourself. Im Pshuto shel Mikro, kein Kasche nicht, was es recht alle sein muss. Very understood why it doesn't bring all 7. Why? Warum? Das ist moving from Shata Posuk. I'm telling you, it's just unbelievable. What is the emphasis here? Eretz was called Vash. You know what the difference is? Where the Girgoshi lived, there's not Eretz was called Vash. That's why the Chumash take him out. So Rashi doesn't have to explain it. Everybody that learns that the emphasis here, I mean, who is the Mechomish Lemikro, 500 years old or 100 years old? Who is the Mechomish Lemikro that gets it what the Rebbe says? That the child is going to understand, because we're talking about the land, that the Girgoshi is not here because it didn't have Eretz Avos Vash. And here's the main point, Eretz Avos Vash. Let's see how the Rebbe is saying it in his words. Warum das ist moving from Pshat Apostel? It's simple understanding. Is Magdim Madgish. What is that? Gosh, Eretz Toivo Rechov Eretz Avos Vash. V'yeshloimar. You could say, as the far, rechnet no di umo is only 6, und nicht Girgoshi, weil die Meile von Eretz Yisrael ist beiker in der Moker Maknani, no von die Vovumo is. Where they live is Eretz Avos Vash. Everybody knows himself. I mean, if you want to have good lulovim, where do you take it from? Where do you take lulovim from? Yericho. You want to have good grapes, where you take it from? You take it from Hebron. Everybody knows there is places that there is Zavas Cholovut Vash, and where they are, it's not Zavas Cholovut Vash. That's why the Torah doesn't mention it. Unbelievable.
Where were they? You know?
Say it again.
You know where they were? You know where they were?
There is some debates about it. I don't know. No. There is also places that it's not growing so good fruits and everything. Not everything is bad. Girgoshi didn't have the place. We don't mention it. Just beautiful. Now, what do we go about the next two in our parsha? What are we talking about our parsha? Fighting them, getting him out. We're talking about them. Now Rashi has to explain why not Girgoshi. Where is he? What happened? The Parshas Seinu, both when we're talking Parshas Tisa, aber redt sich nicht wegen Eretz von die Umois. Underlined. We're not talking about the Eretz. No wegen dem Girush Mapole von die Umois Gruppe. We're talking about their destroying and getting rid of them. ושלחתי לפניך מלאך וגירשתי את הכנעני. We're talking about the Knani himself, not about the land. Mele da Rashi da bewornen, da was man der Mond nicht dem der Girush von Girgoshi. Beautiful answer. Why Rashi doesn't say there? Rashi says that there's a difference in the two psukim. What is left? One question. No, it left before the Yukim still. What else is left? Why did he say it twice? If you said it once, I understand why not Ishmois. I understand why the second time. Beautiful. Let's go to Oizvov. He's going to explain it. Yeah. In them Gufa is the Bardo. Now we're going to make. So we have a difference between 2 and 2. Now we're going to make a difference between 3 and 4. Between the 2 in Kishisto also different. 4
and 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, because in Boy also. So 5 and 6, or 4 and 5, doesn't matter. The 2 in our parsha is 2 separate things. Each one is separate. Okay. In dem Kufe ist aber da ein Unterschied von dem ersten Postik gegenüber dem zweiten Postik, und der Chiluk wird angedeutet in die Wörter, was Rashi ist meitig vom Postik. We're going to answer the first question, why Rashi brings down a different line. Ihr bringt es wegen Rashi, ihr bringt es zu Moire. Beim ersten Postik ist Rashi meitig die Wörter, wegen Rashi ist der Knani goimer. Why? Because dort redet sich wieder Eibischter, wird übergeben die ist in der Hand von Bnei Israel. Yeah? The first Postik comes to tell us that the Eibischter is going to, not to forget, a lot of people made a mistake. We're talking about the Gerashti, that the Eibischter is Gerashti, but all with Milchome. Is going with the Eden to the Milchome, but it has to be Milchome. Right? So the Rebbe says Gerashti, so in the end from Bnei Israel, wird vertreiben dem Knani. He's going to, what do you mean vertreiben? Chase him out, yes, that's the word. Und dann so weiter. Fordert sich gleich Bio, if you say, when we talk about there, I understand that the Girgoshi didn't have a good place, it doesn't mention. But here, to go to get rid of the Umo, we're not talking about the Eretz. Why don't you mention Girgoshi? What happened to him? Rashi has to come and say, what's going on here? Der Apostel gerechnet doch nur 6. Fordert sich gleich Bio. We need explanation. Der Apostel gerechnet doch nur 6. Wie hast du deinen Iden Potter geworden von dem 7. Rum und Girgoshi? How did he get rid of the Girgoshi? But warum Rashi, that's what Rashi is saying, Shisha Umois and there are 6 Umois. As the Begrashti bezieht sich Tage nur zu 6 Umois. That's why he brings up from the Apostel Begrashti. What happened to the 7? And the 7, where Girgoshi Omad upon Mepneim, Meilo, we left by himself. Going to learn footnote 25. The Akosu Yeshua, the Rebbe has a beautiful question. It says by Lochem Bochem, Bale Yericho, Vechoshiv Gama Gergoshti. What are telling me now that now why you can't take only sticks if he was also there? Beautiful answer. For Tirso, there is already answers. Al Pirush Rashi Shom in Yeshua. The Kolechot Mamelachim, very interesting point, very interesting what it is. Shekolechot Mamelachim Moyel Chelik Ma Birichon. Each one set in a different place. Gergoshin, everybody, Knani, Chiti, everybody in a different place. In Yericho, everybody had a part. Irat Morim, I don't know what it is. The key of Eretz Yisrael is Yericho, right? When they came into Eretz Yisrael, the first thing they took is the gates, whatever it's called, Benin, with prayer. And so the Rebbe says that each and every one had a chelik in Yericho. So that's why this part of Yericho that the Gergoshi was there, Yeshua says we also got rid of them. Everybody, Gergoshi, everybody, they ran. But here they stayed. So I shom, nicht betzim kol homois, aval klolus im Gergoshi, aval klolus, am Gergoshi, pono ve'olach. Beautiful answer. Okay. So we understand what's in the first posting, what Rashi bothered by this first two psukim, he didn't say nothing, and why he says here. Now let's see what's in the second posting. Why are they repeating it? Let's go. Mashenk in the second posting, the main point is here that in the first posting Rashi is talking about the Rashi, how to get rid of them. Get rid of them, Gergosh is not there. Second posting is a completely different thing. Let's see what the Rabbi is saying. Chidush niflo b'yoso. Mashenk in the second posting kum derin a girush von die Umois. בהמשך, zu dem, was steht früher, שמור לך, אשר אינני מצב חיים וגוימר, נעל הקדומה, zu die weiter, die כציווי, משום לך, das heißt, die Teure ist doch nicht, dass wir äußern zum Etas, an dem Oif Noge von der Obersten, beim Vertreiben die Umois. The postik here is not talking about getting rid of the Umois. This is in the previous postik. In this postik, the Teure is going to come tell us that you shouldn't make a covenant with them, you shouldn't get married with them, you shouldn't bow down to their things, you should get rid of their Mizbeach, Mezbechoisem Titoitzun, they should let them breathe. The Rebbe has to tell, who does the Rebbe tell us not to do it with? With the Umois. So becomes again the question, why only 6, not the 7? Und dem, no, those were the Montag Agdome, the 6 nations that are, the 6 Umois that the Torah is mentioning is just Agdome, to the weiter the Kitzivui in Sweden. And the far is move on, as das stellt sich die Scheile, what is the question here? Nicht kaloel, wie ist beim Potter geworden von Gergoshti. In the first posting is, you tell me, we Gerashti, you tell only 6, where's the 7? How did he get rid of them? It's a different question. What's the question here? For was der Mondo nicht der Post mit Gergoshti? With Gergoshti, you're allowed to make a covenant? With Gergoshti, you're allowed to do all these things? Sobald as die weiter dicke Zivuim seine Benegea zu alle 7 Umois Keulel Gergoshti. Right? It's everything is, even the Gergoshti, you're not allowed to do all these things. We're going to go over to Zion, or is Zion the next page? Okay. The Rebbe, and I will understand why Rashi gives a reason what it is. The Rebbe sagt, Rashi at the time was dover euch gerecht nur Vov Umois, und nicht Gergoshi, is weil Vov Umois yesh kan. We'll understand also the difference. What did he say before? Vov Umois hein. Now he says Vov Umois yesh kan. Who did the Rebbe has to tell us not to make a bris with them and not to covenant and everything? We do. He left already. That's why it's only 6. That's what Rashi is saying. Everything is mamish precise. With the words of Rashi, what he brings down from Chumash, because we talk about getting rid of them. And so we're not talking, this is just for the Rechaga. He wants to tell us not to do a bris and not to do all these things with the goyim. Who are they? Only the 6, because Shomesh Yeshkan. No divo women than the Bishas Knisel Oretz, given Yesh Beoretz. Only they were Yesh Beoretz. So the problem is only with them. And the meat is moving from what it's going to be Parsha. When Tichos Bris Le Yesh Beoretz, Asharaka Booleo. What does it say? Look in Chumash. When Tichos Bris Le Yesh Beoretz. It's not a Yesh Beoretz, it's left. Yesh Beoretz to Titoitzun, then an Omdi so geworden. Now we're going to Meilov, and it doesn't say Meilov. Before we were talking about the war, it's Negia to say that they ran from themselves. Here is Negia to say that they went from themselves or not. What is the point here? That he's not here. If he's not here, we don't have to make the Rebbe doesn't have to tell you about him, not to make covenants and all these things. Beautiful. Since we're doing the Lashon Rashi, here Gergoshi. Oh, now I also understood why he says ki. Because ki is a reason. Here Gergoshi, nicht wer Gergoshi wie in ersten Posuk. Weil benitten die dann, ist das eine Stina Tam, Pavos, die Zivuim, seinen Don nicht mehr geht zu Gergoshi. What is that? Because it's not here. If it's not Yeshiva Oretz, all these things are not shaykh to him. Yeah. The first pasuk is the most important thing that he left. We say Me'elo. Second pasuk is not so important. How he left or how did he leave? It doesn't matter. It's not here. It's not Yeshiva Oretz. It's not included in all these things. Okay. Yeah. I'm good. Al Pizei is move on. Now we're gonna have was Rashi sagt nicht den zweiten Pirush Oma du Pono mit Nehem Me'elo. Why? Da is nicht negiert, dass mit Me'elo, but it doesn't matter how it left. Before it matter how he left because that's why the Torah says only 6. Oh no, blows the Retzimin. Oma du Pono mit Nehem. What do we have now? What is Rashi's loschen? Yesh kan. There's only 6 here. Und der Fall ist nicht gewähnt in Klau von Yeshiva Oretz, based as Atobo Oleo. So if you give a look, you'll see all the 4 questions before the Yukim is gone. The 2 questions is gone. Everything is beautiful. Everything is mamish understood, and there's no more questions. Okay. Now we said before that we're going to be something in Aloche that we learn from Rashi. Von den Jönen benegal Aloche was Rashi, was wir können herausnehmen von dem Pirush Rashi. Gebald das Gergoshi Oma du Pono mit Nehem. Gergoshi left, right? Und is based on Knispe nicht gewinnt in Yeshiva Oretz. It wasn't a Yeshiva Oretz. So the Rebbe says, a beautiful chkire. Yes, beautiful chkire the Rebbe is making. See, the weiter the Azores Betzivuim, just not to forget, give a look in 29, V'ainu, o inye de Pentichos Bris, avol es mizbechoisem te toitzum poshet shechal gam al mizbechois begergoshe. Tichos Bris is not here. Mizbechoisem, if they left a Mizbeach, you're allowed to leave it? For sure not. But Tichos Bris, you can do with them. They're not here, so there's no problem. Okay. So the Rebbe said, what is the chkire? See, the weiter the Azores Betzivuim, all the tzivuim that we said before. Let me repeat it again. I wrote it down. Pentichos Bris leYeshiva Oretz, leChatin Bohem, leChtachave, Mizbechoisem te toitzum, and all these things the Rebbe says, not to do with these 6 umois that they are there. So the Nachal Aloche, Oich ben Gergoshi. If a Gergoshi is also, how could it be? A Gergoshi said in the Haores, brings down from the Meforshim, from Medrash, that they ran to Africa. The Chatzil it says Afriki, and then it says Africa. So what happens if I eat goes to Africa, and there is a group of Gergoshi, what's the Aloch if they come and fight with them? If you have to fight with you have to get rid of them. You're not allowed to make a covenant with them. You're not allowed to all these things. You're not allowed. Or maybe the Gergoshi comes back to us all sometime. So if the Aloch is applicable to them or not. Yeah. The Frat im Fall, when the B'nai Gergoshi, here the Rebbe says it's clear. Kommen zurück in Erzroll, if they come back to us all, if it's chal on them also. So the Rebbe is going to give the 2 sides of the chkire. See, there's mana knisel oret is machria. If I say that what makes that you're not allowed to have any connections with them, when the Eden came into Eretz Yisrael. Und Yosh das demol dieser nicht gewenke Yeshiva Oretz, is bin geim lechatchile nishchal der Azor. This is one side of the. It was not there. So there's no Azor to Gergoshi. Whatever we have the Azor is on the stick, is not on the Gergoshi. Or let's look at the other side. Achkire means you have two opinions. We have to decide which opinion you're taking. Or the bald as the Shas Namiras Tatzivui. When the Rebbe told the Tzivui, it was still there. In Shmois, it was still there. Is given a Yeshiva Oretz. Is there when geim chal dot Tzivui, und befragt wenn kommt zurück Loretz. Especially when he comes back, Eden darf euch legabem op in Allah Zoros Tanal. What's the decision? So the Rebbe says, as we're going to see in Rashi, what Rashi's opinion is. When do you close the Rashi door? Vov is yesh kan. Kagergoshi Omad upon him. Rashi is emphasizing that there are 6 umois are here now. Is mashma, as those was that Tzivu is gizogi von no benegadi vov umois, is der Fabal bepoel seine blois they dorten given. Rashi didn't say Shisha umois ein. It says Shisha umois yes kan. Right? So that's why it's chal on them now. But in general, it's chal on everybody. Yes kan ki ageroshi omad upnei mipneihem, aber be'etzem miyem, you look in Rashi and you understand what Rashi begins to say, is there benegay gergoshi, chal der chiyuv befrat, weil b'shas hatzivui, Rebbe brings the second opinion, because b'shas hatzivui is oicher given a Yeshiva Oretz. That's chal on them also. B'meile verdos nishbotel oich noch them. Having a very beautiful look. But Rashi comes at something in Aloche that lechoire it is under Gergoshi also, although he was not there, b'shas mindset. Al Pizeh, the Rebbe brings a very geschmacky proof from a posting in Chumash. Al Pizeh is move on, was man gefindt mefurish bei Mishne Teuro, Parshas Tisa, und es sono Hashem Elokecho lefonecho, veikito, achrem tachrim oistom, lo Sichos loem bris, also the same the shyness that we just have. Vielleicht Chonem, vielleicht mit Chatenbaum, mit Bechoistem, Titoitz, du Goimer. Unbelievable. What does it say there? Ich bin ein Gergoshi. Give a look in our 36 by the end there, the last three lines. ושום יזם בפירוש הספרי, listen to הספרי. כשציווך השם אלוהיכךו, so we learn out of that, לרבי יצחק גרגושי, you know what it says there ספרי, רוצה לא אמר, אם הולך לאפריקה, ונלחם צורך לאחרים. If I goes to Africa and is fighting with you, צורך לאחרים. אחרים תחרים, זה a different halacha, but it is with this 7, so he is included. Beautiful proof from Chumash that is included in this idea of the things that you're not allowed to have anything to do with them. So we finished with the idea of Pirush Rashi, the Yukim and everything. Now we finished with the Halacha. Now we're going to go to Yena Shel Torah. Yena Shel Torah and Pirush Rashi are beegdem. Die zweite Schöne ist in Pirush Rashi, weil Gergoshi Oma du Pono mit Pnei Meilov und ki Gergoshi Oma du Pono mit Pneihem. Question that you asked. Reden לכוירה וצווי בסונדרה זמנים. Two different time zones, yeah? לא ידע מהשתם פירוש שישה אומויסט, היי, ובוב המויסטי והגרגושתי, רש"י could have said, שישה אומויסטיין, הגרגושתי פונו מאילוב. רש"י doesn't say. רש"י says, והגרגושתי. It's including him in the six. עומד ופונו בניהם is משמעס, אבל גרשתי, עוד פועל גוון על שישה אומויסט, yeah, Moisif, when it's not in the comments with Gergoshi Omad. So we understand from this that when did he leave? He left when the Eden came. In Loshin Gergoshi Omad upon name is Mudgesh, das ist given Faden in the Gerish Ponecho. He left before. He heard that the Eden came out of Mitzrayim and the Rebbe started going to go to Tzol. He left, finished, he's not there. The Parshas Halosen, Rashi says, Shisha umois yesh kan when Eden came to Tzol, there was Shisha umois. Gergoshi Omad upon name. As Nishlichal geworden in dem Eden Gerish Ponecho, is not included in Eden Gerish Ponecho because he left himself. So there's two ways in learning in the first Rashi and in the second Rashi when it happened. Was mit Pastor ist dabei gewesen, dass Peter am Reise Poet. That's how it happened. Als noch einer die Eden seinen rein in Erzstrol. Mit Chome gehalten mit dem wo es bevor der came to Erzstrol, is a Gergoshi Omad upon v'cholo. Yesh lo imar, lechoire kam zatna, that is a machlokes in Metzias, and there's no machlokes in Metzias. Either they left before or they left after. The Rebbe says it's not a machlokes. Yesh lo imar says it's nicht machlokes in Metzias. How could it be? Listen to the answer. Ruboy da Gergoshi is weggegangen mit Chilo. Before the Eden came. Miuto is some people left, they say we're not living, we're staying. Gemischt in die Wort, wo moist, Pono noch dem wen kann mit kommen. This is in Yena Shel Torah we can see Rashi's opinion what happened there. That Rashi Lechoire says two things, the Rebbe says no, it's one. Most of them left before, and then whoever was stayed. Oh, they started not coming over, they're going over the yard, they're going into Yericho, they ran. Okay. Now we're going to learn in Neshut, Primus and Yonim of this, what Rashi is saying, a beautiful connection with Rashi and Chassidus and Kabbalah and Primus and Yonim, and what it's applicable to us. Oishut. Der Bio in dem Bepnimius in Yonim. Poshet Afli Vofele, what the Rebbe makes from it. Since Yadua, the Rebbe brings down from Teroir in Mital Rebbe, as the Zayin Umois, Aknani Moiri Zayin, the Zayin Midas Rois, the Zayin Zele Umazeh, from the Zayin Midas the Gdushe. Yeah, the Zayin Midas the Klippe, each and every one, we have Zayin Midas, could be, as the Rebbe is going to explain soon in a few of the Midas, what it is in the not good and what it is in the good. Knani is Chesed the Klippe. Hiti is Gvura the Klippe, Vechulun, same thing is all the seven. Und der Rehe vom Kibbutz Dayan Numo ist, what is the avoide for us? Is the avoide to koivish sein und mevara sein, die Zayin Midas Reus. To get rid of your Zayin Midas Reus. But jeder Uma protest is the Mitte, was is benagit, so the Mitte Uma so in Gdusha. Every Mitte that we have in Gdusha, there's in Uma from the Shiva Uma is one of them. Is, as we said, that Knani is Chesed, Hiti is Gvura. Is mevoerens for him. The Rebbe brings down in the Aoref number 4, Keles Yankev. Erich Gergoshi. There's one of the Kabbalists of the later, not first or middle, from the left Kabbalists. The Rebbe brings him down very interesting. The next hour we're going to learn soon. Also very interesting. The Ehe von Gergoshi, Ponomelov, so he's Mevayer, the Kelas Yankev is Mevayer, as Gergoshi is the Prine, Malchus the Klippe. There is 7, so we have to Malchus also. Was Bishas mit Mevayer und Metak in the Vov Umo is Taknani Begoimer. This is also the Kelas Yankev is saying. Wird mit das Malchus ins Barer und mit Tukon bederich Mebele. That's what it says. If you mevarer the 6 midas, malchus you don't have to be mevarer. If there's no 6 midas, there's no malchus. We're going to explain it beautiful. How does it work? What is it? For malchus is prinas nukve de klippe. We all know about it. Yeah, malchus is mekabel. Yesod is mashpia. Malchus is mekabel. Malchus is the temes de levones, the moon. Leslo megarmo klum. She's just mekabel. She's nukve de klippe. Was leslo megarmo klum. She's bloiza mekabel from the echere midas. If she's mekabel only from the echere midas, if you get rid of the 6, it's gone. It doesn't have from where to take. Very simple. Und als es wird bottle der Raf und der Wolf mit ist die Klippe, wird bei der Memele bottle prinas Malchus die Klippe. Look how before you am very interesting. Very good. That's coming up. Yes. There's the 2 opinions when it happened. That's what the Rebbe is going to bring out. Yes. Okay. Give a look in 41. Unbelievable Aure. Leist Ato. I didn't find this idea, and the Rabbi is not finished. You have to look and find if there is any place in Kabbalist before on the Mamorim of the Rabbein, such a thing what he just said. Now the Rabbi is going to explain it in his words. The Rinyan for Malchus the Klippe. Now, what is Malchus the Klippe for us? We said if we get rid of the 6 midas, Malchus is being fixed by itself. What is it? What is Malchus the Klippe? What is Malchus? The Rebbe is going to say. The Prine, Machshove, Dibur, Mindse, in Yonah Fulomazeh. God forbid, thinking, speaking, or doing something against the Eibishter. Mishas mis metaken die Shisha Midas, die Midas nach Chesed. Adi metaken Midas nach Chesed. Es soll sein bei ihm nicht kein Ave Zoro. Chesed is the end of Ave. It has to be Ave Hashem. And Taives that shouldn't be. What is Midas nach Gvura? Mevatel sein to nullify by you the Midas von Kas. And the same thing in all the other Midas. Weil there sind andere Midas ruhig. Is Melchatchile nitoke not from Machshove Dibur Meise von Leumase. If you get rid of this 6, there's no Machshove Dibur Meise. If you don't have cast, if you don't have Aves Doris, if you don't have Taives, there's no Machshove Dibur Meise. You don't have to fix it. It's fixed by itself. Warum in Jonah von Machshove Dibur Meise ist das was seine Levushim und Apoel Yoitze von den Midas. Right? What do? What do you think? Trach, redt mit Dibur und tut bemeiste. He thinks, he speaks, and he does what? Does what the Midas will in seine Mechayev. So if you get rid of the Midas, Machshav Dibur Meise is going to be fine, going to be correct. Aber die Peule und Birur Malchus the Klippe can sein auf a Neufen. Listen to what Rashi. If the Gegoshi left before or the Gegoshi left after. Malchus. There could be Malchus that if you don't have the 6, he's gone. And sometimes you have to do the 6, then he's gone. Let's see what the Rabbi is explaining it. Beautiful. Aber die Pole und Büro von Malchus die Klippe kann sein auf Neufen. Als noch älterer wird man wahrer, man sagt, wenn seine Midas reus, ich still as cast, ich still as Taives, ich still have all the things. Ich sag, koivisch Israel, die Midas reus sollen bei ihm nicht rauskommen, nach Shova Dibur Meise. The Rebbe gave you Moyach Shalat Alalev. Moyach is Moichin is the Nefesh Elikis. Midas is the Nefesh Abamis in the left chamber of the heart. So you have a koyach. Even if you didn't fix it yet, in Dibur, in doing something, I'm holding myself back. We learn in Tanya now in Shul. We have a shul. What's a Beinoni? A Beinoni has Machshov, he has Taifes Belev. His Yetzirah, we learned last week in the Sicha. His Yetzirah didn't budge. Nothing. What is his Meile? Machshove comes up in his mind. He comes into a place and he sees a beautiful 7-layer. Wow! Second, it comes up to his brain and says, no, it's not for me. But Taivus, he does it. That's what Rabbi says here. So Dibur, Machshove, Dibur, Meis, you could have control, even if you didn't get rid of the 6. Yeah. Weil der Avoide von Abenen, hier der Rabbi is bringing it clear. Der Avoide von Abenen, was der Rashi bechol al Asmoli, betokvoi, ketol dosoi, leistavus Taive, lechol tanu gete Perik is basically the Gimel and Tanya, but the Alter Rebbe finishes with Tzadik v'Toiv, Tzadik v'Raloi, Rosh v'Toiv, Rosh v'Raloi, and it starts Perik is based. V'Abeinoni, what is that? But I need to have him koimoi klar. It's amazing. Is sich ober misgaber und shoilet mit der Amra, as soll sich nicht mislabet sein, Machshove Dibur Meise. Now we're going to come and see what Rashi is saying here, the 2 things. Gergoshi, Rashi speaks about the regular Gergoshi, when he left. We're going to talk Gergoshi in Malchus, in your Machshove Dibur Meise, when is the effect on him. Beautiful. Ois Yudal. Und das ist der Chelek zwischen die 2 Pirushe Rashi. In dem ersten Pirush redet sich wegen Steder Mesuda. Baknish der Erzrol, dem Kibush und Biro von der Zayinumois mit des Reus. Die Eden came in Erzrol and they have to get rid of this Zayinumois. Was in dem ist der Seder, der Geirash ist der Knani, mit darf vertreiben, mit Wahrer sein die Shisha, Mois mit euch. What happens then when you get rid of the 6? Und dem ist like Gergoshi, Oma, the Pono mit Meilov. The Rebbe is underlying the Meilov. You know what is Meilov? If there's no 6, there's no Meilov, there's no Gergoshi, there's no Malchus, there's no Machshove Dibur Meise. Wer bei der Meile Meilov? You didn't work anything on your machshava dibur ma'aseh. Because of the 6 is not there. That's fixed. Bottle, wird bei der Mail of Bottle beginnen am August der machshava dibur ma'aseh, in welcher sein sich mislabisch die Wort mit des Reus. Now in the second posting, what happens in the second posting, aber sich nicht wegen dem Seder, Aknisse lassen soll. It's not talking about the Seder, Aknisse lassen soll. Das ist der Kibbutz Büro von Design mit. We're not talking about that. What are we talking about? No, Bescheichus für die Zivuim was as we learned before. This is the Rebbe's main yesod, that in the second posting is not talking about that. He's talking about that the 6 summers that he's mentioning is just a akdome to tell us, don't have connection with them, all the misbechers, we should break and everything. Und der Avoide von Teure und Mitzvahs ist lechol roish in Meister Shayasu. Und Eila Shaloite Oseno, es darf sein, die Machshava Dibur Meister Shaloi, before you go in there, before you do everything, before you walk on your 6 meters, you Machshava Dibur Meister, you could control even before. So we have the two things.
That is a nightmare, through working on the mind, that's what changes.
Adrabi, for Machshava Dibur Meister, you could change his meters. Very good. Yes. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So it's like a cycle, an interesting cycle. Either you got the 6 instead of Masuda, you got the 6, then you get, if there's no 6, there's no Malchus, and then you could do Machshava Dibur Meister, you could have without, even before you do with the 6, and then if you do Machshava Dibur Meister, you walk on the 6. Very good. And the Rebbe came and don't sagen as Gergoshi, listen to this, even according to Chassidus, according to Pnimis Yonim, that Gergoshi is Malchus, Machshava Dibur Meister and everything, the Me'elov is also very Negeya. Listen to this. And the Rebbe came and don't sagen as Gergoshi Omad upon him Me'elov. Why? Listen to the Losh of Rashi. Warum Vov Umois? Yes, can. There is 6. How do you get rid of Malchus? It's not Me'elov. You have to walk on the 6. This is the second shitte. You have to walk on the 6 and then you get rid of the Machshav of the Malchus. The Rav on the 6 meters, the clip is doch mit Tag for you. Vov Umois yes can. Begoroshe bechol asmoli ketuloshe. There's no what a Gergoshi Omad upon him pneim. Das heißt, dass der Wein ist bei Eufmann, der Wuschen von Machshav Dibur Meister, dann abgekehrt und abgerissen von der Mittelsreus. Was soll ich das ist mit Schad? How does this happen? Da bist das now in the brackets. How does it happen? Was soll ich das ist mit dem Israel Vishlit vom Prinas Chochmo von Nefesh Lekishe b'Moichos. Mentioned before that Moich shalet al alev. You have the koyach from them. Was does give them koyach? Because you have the Nefesh Lekishe is resting in the Moich. So that means Moich shalet al alev. Was does give them koyach? Es soll nicht werden. It's Zirchlus von der Klippe wie Zitrache shebechol al Asmoli kemvu Baruch in Tanje legabi Abeinoni. That Abeinoni, that people are making a mistake. They think that the Sichos, what's the Sichos of the Nefesh Abamis? He tells the guy, if you do a little Avere, a bigger Avere, it's nothing, you're still connected to the Eibishter. This is the Sichos. When it comes to bow down to an idol and say that this is your God, God forbid, and the God is not here, then it's going to go on Mesichus Nefesh, even Bishas Mais is doing Avere. So this is the Sichos. Kemvu Baruch in Tanje Abeinoni, und der Pfarrer sagt man auf dem, Omad upono mipneihem. Why mipneihem? So that nicht repar eure Gedushas Nefesh. So you have bekoyach. Right away, think about doing Machshava Dibur Meister watching. Either you got rid of your midas, you didn't get rid of your midas yet, you get rid of Machshava Dibur Meister, it shouldn't be anything that's from Klippe and Sadashem. Valtas Vovum is Yesh Kan, darf sein, Shmolecho, very connected. Yeah, Vovum is Yesh Kan, Shmolecho. Shmolecho means, be careful. Ashmira Michedes, that sollen bei ihm nicht spoilen. In the Mida Azayin, in the Lebusha Nefesh, Ve'ivor Canal, there is still the 6, but make sure that they're not working on you and they're not overcoming you. Und die Avoide, in dem Büro von der alles Zayin Midas, that we're doing about ourselves, yeah, the Zayin Midas, the Zayin Umois, is the Achone V'Achshoret to dem Kibush von alle Esther Umois. It's not going to be only 7 when Moshe comes, it's going to be 10. Oich Kester Chochmo Bines, brother Nechtides, consider that the 7 we said is against the Chesed Gvurot first, that's a Chodesh Malchus. What is the other 3? There is Kester Chochmo Bine. Whenever we use Kester as one part of the 10, we take out Das. So the Kester Chochmo Bine, was das wird sein bepoil in der Gule, or Mitzvah Shleimo. When is it going to be? When Moshe is gone, was wir demolt oben die Eretz, Shibo Amamin, und euch keine Knisi bekadmoini. It says, Bepris ben Absorim in footnote 46, Eretz Mitzroy Shleimo, it's going to be Yarchiv Avayis Gulcho in Parshas Tisa, the Korev Mamish, al Yedei Moshe Klein.